Chad, for the record, welcome, by the way.
Thank you.
Off with the fellow you tweeted. We appreciate the update.
Yes, sir.
There's been some great debate translating Ochocinco into French. Should it be 8-5, which would be wheat sank?
Yeah.
Or should it be 85 80
No,
sank?
it'd be weak sync.
Wheat sank,
Yeah,
that's
I
the way
mean,
you roll.
if you were to convert it, yeah. Which I won't be doing any of that stuff. I'm just coming as Johnson, which was when I was my best.
Jim Pop was just saying, from what he saw of you at minicamp, he, like Chris Carter, who I spoke with about a month ago, they believe you can still be playing in the NFL. So why are you here?
I'm here to finish a dream of mine that I started, some 32 years ago, maybe when I was 4 years old. I had a dream to be able to play in the NFL. You know, that dream came crashing down because of my irresponsibilities and my immaturity and my mistakes, which I took account for. And regardless of where I'm able to finish my dream at, NFL, CFL, AFL, it doesn't matter. The fact that I get to finish it the right way is sufficient enough for me.
But at 36 years old, your goal is still to go back in the NFL?
No, I don't need to go back. This is fine. My goal is to play football again. My goal is to be a part of something. My goal is to be able to contribute to wherever I am. If I was playing with the Sisters of the North, my goal would be able to be the best part of the Sisters of the North possible. And that is my goal here, to try to contribute the best way I can and hopefully bring a Grey Cup.
It was shotgun marriage, Chad, but what did you learn about Troy Smith and your new teammates at minicamp?
Man, the funny thing about it is most of my teammates I've already known from previously in the past. I mean, those that I did know, especially those who are from the Montreal area and are Canadian, they've been very cool, accepting me with open arms, teaching me the ropes of the game, of the Canadian game, and it's been fun thus far.
How do you know Troy Smith? Is it from the fact that he was at Ohio State?
In Ohio State, in Ohio, just in general. I met him multiple times when he was in college, and seeing him play.
Do you think your learning process will be long for the CFL?
I don't think so. It's still football. You know, the concepts, the schemes really don't change, just the verbiage. And with that, I think I'll be fine.
And the fact that you're allowed to move more on the front line before the snap of the ball.
I think that's a great advantage for receivers. That's something that I'd have to learn. And one of the things that I've mastered playing in the NFL for so long was being the best at being able to get off the line without having to move. So adding that to the repertoire and learning the nuances of being able to move at the line would somewhat make me a little bit more dangerous than normal once I get it down. And I'm sure it's going to take some work.
Chad, your new boss, Jim Pop, has had in recent years, the Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher Ahman Green came up. He lasted a day, maybe two. What makes you think
a day, maybe
two. What makes you think you can come here and win a job and thrive?
McDonald's. There's no reason. It's football. It's just competing. I mean, what's the difference? Maybe most of us throw age out there. You never lose your ability to play the game of football. You lose opportunity. That's it. That's the only thing that happens. Once you hit 30, you know how it works in the NFL. Doesn't matter how good you are. Your skill set it doesn't leave like that. It's humanly impossible. You lose opportunity, and that's what I lost. Well, I messed up. So.
You suffered a groin injury down in Florida during minicamp. How much do you feel you're in better football shape now compared to when you were...
I was in great football shape then. I went every snap consistently, rarely got tired. But what I wasn't used to is the movement, the lateral movement, the people tugging, the people pushing. So it caught up to me on the third day. And now my training regimen was the same as I've always done in the past throughout my career. And I just implemented that along with soccer and boxing, so I would be, 10 times what I was in Vero.
Jim told us a moment ago that having the career that you had in the NFL, you're the kind of player he sees as someone who can help his teammates raise their play level up a notch. Do you see yourself as such a role model?
I never look at it like that, because the funny thing about with me being here is I'm looking to everyone else, and I'm the sponge. You know, what I did in the NFL really doesn't count. The numbers in the NFL don't matter here. You know, I'm the rookie. So I'm looking at those that have been playing this game that have been successful, like SJ and Deron and some of the things they've done, even though, you know, Deron just starting. You know, I'm looking at them like with the wow eyes and trying to be a sponge from them. So it's completely different. Pop sees it one way, I see it a completely different way.
Chad, one of your first tweets about this possibility when it first came up alluded to some concerns you might have, legal issues getting over the board. How easy was it to sort all that out and then complete this voyage?
You know what? I didn't know what it would be like. You know, coming from Miami, trying to get into Canada. But man, they were awesome. They were awesome. Customs was awesome. It seems as if they were already waiting and they were expecting me already, and everything went extremely smooth with a couple of pictures and autographs, and I was through.
Is that some people when they research that? I mean, it's so easy these days to just Google search or YouTube search, and what pops up obviously is not one of your proudest moments. That courtroom scene. So is that a different guy now?
Well, the courtroom scene, no, that's Chad. That's always been Chad. That's been Chad throughout his entire career. That was nothing malicious. Nothing malicious. And it's very harmful. It's the same way. I've always had a fun and loving nature. Now, the nature of why I was in court, yes, was a while ago. But at that point, there's no reason for me to still be mad at myself. You know, I had shed all the tears. I lost everything I could at that point. I had gotten over it. So I was back in my fun and loving nature way of being Chad. She said, you need to thank your attorney for a job well done. And I did just that. And the only gesture that I know was a small tap on the rear. No smiles, no nothing, serious face. Now the people surrounding the courtroom found it to be funny when it wasn't, not to me, and I wasn't trying to be. And she took offense to that. There's really nothing I can do about that.
From what we could see of your career from here up north, I mean, you seem to be a guy who enjoyed having the spotlight.
You know what? You considered having a spotlight. What I loved to do, week in and week out, was take the pressure off everyone else on that offensive side of the ball, which made their job extremely easy and put all the pressure on myself, which forced me to play at a high level week in and week out for a decade, 11 years straight. That's all I did.
Does it ask for some adjustment from your part, being part of the Alouettes, not wanting to distract the players?
I was never a distraction before, if you think about it. I mean, if you actually follow the game of football, I was never a distraction. You know, I talked, I had fun, I entertained, which is what the game is about. It's a game of entertainment besides the business side of it, and I did just that. But I played at a high level week in and week out, and what more can you ask for? You know, I'm sure there's a certain way I was supposed to carry myself once I got to that point. Once I got to the NFL, they say, okay, this is how you're supposed to be. And I didn't really fit or conform to what they felt I should be like. And if that's a distraction, then so be it. You know, I played the game the way I felt it should be played once I got to that level. I just didn't change because of the paycheck. That's it.
Yeah, you mentioned that right now, you can the other players, you like a sponge, but the fact is that a lot of those players grew up watching you, and like it or not, they're going to see you as a leader if you do make the team. Are you prepared, to be a leader in that type of way?
Yeah, leading my way, not leading the way you might feel I should, which is the way I was before. You know, if I was a leader, if I was a role model of in any sort, follow the way I'm going. This is the way Chad does it. This is the way I've always done it, and the way I've done it always worked until I had a mishap. And everyone's different with the way they lead.
So would you describe yourself being a leader by example, more by your heart?
More so, yeah. That's more like it. I'm not the politically correct leader. Say all the right things, hoorah, hoorah. You're not getting that. That's not me. Never has been.
Chad, how important in this process of you coming here was Chris Carter advocating for you, and this connection with Deron, who, as you may know, had an amazing season.
Chris Carter had a lot to do with me getting signed. But again, I think it's somewhat of the eye test and me being able to go out there and show Pop and the Alouettes that I'm still able to move and still able to play and still able to catch, because it's been 2 years removed from the game itself. Not that I never stopped working out, but nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, from that point. So, again, I'm just looking forward to being the best Chad I can be for the Alouettes.
Is there a retired quarterback, someone who you trained with over these last 2 years to
No,
rust from
just
building up?
just young guys. Young guys, most of you wouldn't know from home.
Sandlot guys or college guys? Who did them?
All over the place.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Did you work with the Troy Smiths since your signing?
No, I haven't. Only when we're here as a whole. I haven't. No.
Enough time to clicking with you?
We'll click fine. I mean, we'll be Wi-Fi. We'll have a nice connection.
You said you just wanted to play football, no matter which league, but
Mhm.
what are your goals specifically for on the field?
My goal is just be consistent. Consistent. That's it. That's one of my things that I've really wanted to be. When you're consistent, you last a long time. Which is why I was able to last a long time. Besides having the fun, besides the celebration, besides the trash talking, I was consistent year in and year out. And I think that got away from me 1 year. And I think that year would probably be New England. I wasn't consistent, and I think I somewhat got complacent. And in the midst of me getting complacent, I also got in trouble. And so it all just crumbled before me. And I needed that second chance. I needed to reinvent myself, and the Alouettes and Pop and everyone of Montreal has somewhat embraced me and giving me that second chance. So it is my time to somewhat prove myself again, because what I've done in the past really doesn't matter. So my goal coming here is to be consistent, week in and week out. No ups, no downs. Find that fine line of consistency. There are going to be mistakes. Chad is going to drop a ball. Chad is going to mess up. But I want to find that fine line where the good outweighs the bad. And I think if I can do that, I'll be fine.
What went wrong in New England? Because so much was expected out of you.
It's
It was
all-
like the first time of your career.
I
that you
mean,
didn't produce.
what went wrong with Mark Anthony and J-Lo? Perfect. I think it's perfect. I mean, think about it. When you think about it, Chad Johnson, Tom Brady, it's going to be great. When I think about Mark Anthony and J-Lo, it's going to be great. It didn't work out. Why it didn't work out? I don't know. That's one organization I will never question, because they're successful regardless of who's in there. And it just didn't go the way I wanted it to. It didn't go the way they thought it would. It just didn't work out.
So who was J-Lo in all this?
I look better than Tom, so I'm J-Lo.
Chad, lots of athletes talk about visualization and
Mhm.
how it helps them on the field. Have you visualized, can you see your first touchdown in Canada?
I haven't visualized it yet. I know what I would do, though, when I did score. When I do score. I know what I would do, yeah.
The celebrations are
Yeah.
not only allowed, they're encouraged here.
Yeah. I think my first celebration would just be a thank you to Montreal in general. A gesture to Pop, the Alouettes, and just the city of Montreal. And to the extent I would go to show my gratitude and appreciation for everyone welcoming me would be, I don't know what it would be yet, Merci, right? Merci. Yeah, it would be something good,
You talked about taking the pressure away from your teammates back in the NFL. Is that something you feel you can bring to the Montreal Alouettes this year?
It would take a while. It would take a while for me to get to that point. That was like journalism. Let's say when you study something or you're writing about something and you really know about it. It's like studying for a test, and you know the test so well, you can't wait to take it. So that's the same mindset and same confidence I had when I was with Cincinnati all those years. With that to come, that came with repetition of the same thing over and over and over. And it takes time to get to that point. And with me just getting here, I doubt I get to that point in 1 year. So that's why I'm drilling myself and drilling you guys on me just wanting to be consistent week in and week out.